Okay, back on the 52 Philco. Where I left off on my last video on this set was the picture's up and running. Getting a pretty decent picture with the exception of the top half of the screen. There was some smushing, obviously a vertical linearity problem, and I think I made the statement in the video. Not sure if I was on crack that day or what I was thinking, but I indicated that I could make some adjustments to the yoke and probably null that problem out. Well, that's not really the case. There are a couple of controls on the yoke. On this set there is this focus control here. This actually sticks out through the back of the cabinet. This is used to obviously focus the picture on the picture tube, and then there's also some centering adjustments, but there's real no and then of course you can adjust the ion trap, and that can move the picture around a little bit, and then there's also the secondary controls on the back, the normal ones, the width, the horizontal, frequency, height, and then vertical linearity. And I was not able to correct that problem on the screen. So now what I'm thinking is I might have something going on in the vertical circuit, which we'll get to. But the first thing I'm going to do is test all the tubes. I know I said earlier that I put all new tubes in here. Well, that's a little bit of an oxymoron. There's no such thing as new tubes, at least for vintage television sets. What you're using is maybe new old stock, but they're not new tubes. So I've tested some of these tubes, but I haven't tested all of them. So I'm going to go back through, start with the sweep chassis, testing the tubes. But the other tube that I'm going to test to begin with is, I know I said that I tested this picture tube, but I got to thinking, I've had this set for almost a year, and when I got the set I tested the picture tube. Obviously it's one of the very first checks that I do to see if a TV is even, you know, a candidate to be restored. The picture tube, the flyback, and the yoke is what my standard operation before deciding to see if I'm going to even waste any time working on a set, because those are three things that are very difficult to get, and if one of those three things is not working, you're going to have a hard time getting the set playing correctly. So I know I said that this tube tested well, but to be honest with you, between all the other sets that I have and considering how long I've had this set, it was in line to be restored, and then I've jumped around to other projects since I started restoring this. That's one thing I'm working on myself to correct is, you know, lots of times I'll start working on a particular set, I get bored, I go to a different project, and then all of a sudden I've got 4 projects going at one time. And it's a little hard to remember every detail that you need to know. So one of my resolutions for 2014 is to have no more than 2 projects going at one time, finish the dang thing, and then move on. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. But now I've got the CR70 out, and let's take a look. I've had this filament baking at 6.3 volts now for about 10 minutes. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. Let's check for shorts. Okay, we're looking good on shorts. This is cutoff. Great cutoff response. And emission. Well, we're well into the good, so I guess my memory was correct on this. Do a life test. Life test is not so good, but the emissions on the set are well into the green, so there's absolutely no reason why this TV, once I get everything electronically corrected, shouldn't produce a great picture. But then again, there's the issue of, to get the most optimum picture after everything is correctly operating, to get the best picture out of this old set would be to be alignment. But that's way on down the road at this point. I want to go back through, go through the vertical circuit to make sure all my cap values are right. A bad cap or off value of that cap can cause that picture smudging. I want to take a look at the vertical output tube.